What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So it's not news that the money-hungry company that owns PSA, Collectors Inc. I don't remember. Collectors. Anyway, they bought Beckett, and then there was like some There was like they were saying that it might have been a monopoly thing, and then it kind of got brushed under the rug because, again, PSA, because Collectors has so much money that they can do that, right? They can just say like, oh no, it's fine. I used to work. I worked for a company, kind of a sidebar in the whole the anti-monopoly laws that we have here in the U.S. and just what companies do to kind of like skirt the laws. So I worked for a company that refurbished brake components for freight trains, and they were like the second biggest company for what we did, like in the world. Okay. And then we were bought by the biggest company in the world. And there was just some paperwork, and they had to, the way they skirted around it is that because the company that bought us wasn't just within the United States, it was international. So it was like in Europe and places like, around the world. They said, the anti-monopoly laws didn't apply the same way because we were still going to be able to operate independently. And they can make up their own rules and had all their own regulations and stuff still, but we were still owned by this other company. And its base of operations was in Europe. And so it technically wasn't a monopoly. The two biggest companies doing what we did in the world combined, and it wasn't a monopoly. And with the whole PSA and Beckett thing, and then Beckett just announced that they're going to stop taking their base, I think their two lowest tiers of submissions for grading. They're stopping those because they have a backlog and they want to catch up, right? They need to catch up so that they can try to knock down those turnover rates, the return rate, which is exactly what PSA said. And now they just don't even offer those like lower tier rates anymore at all. And they just keep pushing more stuff into their backlog because they're not just stopping submissions. And I think it's Tag recently kind of did the same thing where they said, no, but they said they're not taking any submissions. Like they completely locked down their site. And so, we need to catch up. We need to, because they want to actually try to honor their their turnaround time. They say, oh, this takes 5 to 7 business days, and it was getting out to where it was like 30, 40 business days. And so they were like, well, okay, we need to pump the brakes, because right now at PSA, if you can submit one card for $80, and there's a 180-day turnaround. It's 6 months, and those are business days. That's not calendar days. That's not 7 days a week. No, that's business days. 180 business days. So it's like 7 months. You have a 7-month turnaround for PSA right now. Speaking of PSA, dude, the greed just keeps pouring in. Like, or it just keeps, like, the greed just keeps getting worse. Like, these guys are just like, just grabbing every penny they can, dude, because they know, like, dude, people need to stop. People need to open their eyes. Dude, like, the masses are so, like, and it's greed, but it's also like, it's an addiction, and PSA knows that people are addicted. Then they need to be stopped, and the people need to be stopped, not just PSA. PSA now has a $10,000 submission, like, tier. 10 grand. $9,999, not 10,000. $9,999. And it's for one card, and you have a 5 to 7 business day turnaround. So you're giving them 10 grand for 3. And I think that it shows that it's, hold on, I'll look it up. Excuse me while I do this. But yeah, I was just blown away, dude. Well, we'll just Google it. PSA grading fees. Yeah, PSA temporarily pauses all card grading tiers under $80. It's not even that they put a pause on it. It's literally not even there anymore. All right, so here we go. What? Well, this doesn't even have all their... The heck? On site. Dude, what is going on here? Oh, that's for national. Excuse me. I apologize. Pricing. Here we go. So, for the price of $9,999, premium, it's called Premium 10, max insured value of $250,001 or higher, estimated turnaround time 5 to 7 business days. This doesn't actually give you all of the details on it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so Premium 10 pricing starts at $9,999 for any item with a max insurance value of $350,000 or less, and increases by $399 for each $10,000 or fraction thereof of the max insured value over $350,000. For example, the price of grading an item with a max insured value of $425,000 would be $13,191 or $9,999 plus $399 times 8. Estimated turnaround times are estimated only and not guaranteed. A service level estimated turnaround time does not begin until the order has been entered into the grading system. These times are based on and may be impacted by PSA submission volume, capacity, and other unforeseen circumstances. Turnaround times may change rapidly without notice as conditions change. Yeah, I mean a 10, like I said, and that's the base, right? That's the $10,000 plus another $400 on top of that per every, what did it say? For every $10,000 over, right? So if you have that, you know, PSA 10 Shadowless First Edition Charizard with the, you know, with no rarity stamp or whatever, and it's like a $1 million card, and they grade it, then that card's going to cost you like $50,000 to get it graded. Like, and I know that's probably not the right number. I'm just throwing numbers out there. But like, this is so crazy. Like, this is getting so out of hand. Because even so, there's they call it the Super Express, and it's $350 per card. Estimated turnaround is 10 to 15 business days. So for the low price of $350, you might get your card back in a month. Express, they call it the Express option, for $150 with a max insured value of $2,500. Estimated turnaround is 20 to 30 business days. This is wild, dude. And again, and like people, obviously these, you know, these prices exist because somebody's paying them. Obviously, like somebody's willing to pay these prices. And I thought it was crazy when they had that, when they were at National and they were charging $700 for same day grading. I thought that was crazy. Like, I didn't think, right, because they have this, they have the walkthrough, which is a $600 option for maximum insured value of $10,000, estimated turnaround of 7 to 10 business days. So I thought that was like their highest option. But then, you know, you go down, you scroll down a little bit on their website, it says cards are worth more than 10,000, see premium options. And that's saying cards worth more than 10,000. I mean, and then, but no, it's got to be worth way more than 10,000, dude. If you're paying 10,000 to get it graded, that's crazy, dude. They said these dudes need to be stopped. This is wild. Somebody needs to do something about this because they've priced us out. They priced out the everyman, and I've talked about this before. They've made this a. It's like the art. It's like fine art community now, where it's like you already have to have $1 million to invest in Pokemon cards, or any cards really. I mean, this is just trading cards in general. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, and make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.